Teachers should be paid a living wage. This is a statement that most everyone would agree with. However, teachers in North Carolina do not get paid enough.
North Carolina is 48th, if not at the bottom of the heap in terms of teacher pay. I could easily go to Virginia and make $15,000 to $20,000 more a year. It's a matter of public record, but my salary is right at $56,000 a year with a PhD and 23 years of teaching experience.
Teachers make 14% less than people in other professions that require similar levels of education.
I do not think teachers get paid nowhere nearly enough.
Teachers are not paid enough. These are the people in charge of your children's future. I think maybe you should show some appreciation.
I do get paid base salary only because I'm a beginning teacher. I do not think it is enough based off of the work that I put in.
I don't think teachers get paid enough, especially for what they have to deal with.
Teachers are discouraged from coming into this profession because of the pay scale.
I think the teacher pay reflects really what we value in society. In other countries like Japan, being a teacher is a really big deal. Like, teachers are held at such a high level of respect, and they get paid so much more because they value education more. Whereas like in America, a football player gets paid millions of dollars and a teacher gets paid nothing. So it just shows you our priorities.
77% of U.S. adults feel teaching is among the most underappreciated professions in the United States.
I think generally speaking, and as a kind of a blanket thing, the state needs to treat us as the professionals that we are. Most of us have advanced degrees or are working on advanced degrees, and we care about what we do. And the state does not recognize it as it would be recognized in another profession.
It does impact teaching. I hope it doesn't impact mine, but I've got to say that my attitude every year is more and more jaundiced by the fact that I don't feel like I'm being fairly treated.
Teachers are the most underappreciated people ever. They come to school and they're with us for like 9 hours, and we're terrible, and they're just doing so much, and they're doing what they love, and they don't get respect for it.
Teachers don't get the satisfaction that they need from their job, and their job is to help us along our path and make sure that we are successful.
When you put in so many hours and so many people view you as not a professional, and you're dealing with students who are fantastic and you care for them and you work really hard for them, it certainly does not seem like enough, particularly because of all the extra duties we're assigned, all of the parent-teacher conferences that we have to go to after school, all of the hours past 40 that we spend here a week, it's not equivalent to how much we work.
76% of U.S. adults agree that many of the smartest people in society don't go into teaching because being a teacher doesn't pay enough.
I would probably not want to be a teacher because of the pay, mostly.
I don't think that I have an interest in being a teacher when I grow up, and I think the reason for that is because most teachers nowadays don't get the respect that they deserve.
I want to teach kindergarten. You start them out on their education track, and it's so important that you kind of make them fall in love with learning. And as soon as they fall in love with learning, it's like they don't stop. I would be a teacher somewhere else, like in Texas, because they're just paying them that much more.
I think we have some amazing teachers here in North Carolina, but I do think we're losing many of those amazing teachers to other states.
46% of teachers in public schools leave the profession within 5 years.
Teachers often have to have second, sometimes even third jobs, often due to their student loan debt.
I had a biology teacher last year who had a second job as a waitress at night, every night.
I had a third grade teacher who, in the summer, was a waitress, and our newspaper actually wrote an article about it, and then everyone came back to school and was like, I thought you only lived at school.
I'm trying to get out of my last bit of debt. I'm trying to save to eventually get my master's. I'm trying to save to buy a house. Do normal things that professionals who have careers can do without having to worry about money consistently. And because I'm a teacher in North Carolina, I'm not necessarily at a pay rate where I can afford to do those things.
I think that people come into this business because they love the idea of teaching and they want to teach. And it's very discouraging once you're in the business if you don't have that particular love fed.
I would assume that if teachers were getting paid like not great amounts, then they'd be more resentful towards their job and they would come to school super cranky and just wanting coffee all the time. But I mean, if they got paid a living amount, then they would go to school and be eager to teach everyone.
If a teacher's actually like engaging you, focused and energetic, it really draws your attention and it makes it hard for you to be distracted.
They're the medium between the really boring curriculum and the bored out of their mind students. So it's up to the teacher to make it interesting so the student can catch on.
If he or she cares about the class, then I will be more motivated to care about the class as well.
If I'm worried about whether or not I can make ends meet, no matter how dedicated a teacher I am, that is going to impact my attitude. A lot of my colleagues, I see them year after year after year becoming more and more ground down by the process because they feel underpaid and underappreciated.
Many would agree that if teachers were paid more, they would have more time to focus on teaching rather than their economic instability. In North Carolina, there should be a heavier emphasis on investing in our children's future.